Have you ever wondered how you approach a situation when you need to quit something, transition? You are asking yourself if you should stay in this place, this town, this relationship, this career, all those big questions when we are in a moment of transition. I am in a big transition moment right now in my career that I will be sharing in the following episodes. And today, I would like to share with you a frame that I'm using to think through it and how I can apply some practices like a framework, a structure, a mental model, not only go through the motions, but apply strategy and set some techniques that can help the analytical brain to think, go through, and digest all the things that go when you are going through a transition. So let's jump in the hint number one. You should think, are you quitting or changing because of strategy or discouragement? And that's the first question that you should be thinking, because sometimes in my career, I made some decisions and I made some transitions because I was in a place of disempowerment. I was discouraged. I was feeling overwhelmed. I thought, all right, let me throw this. I will move on to another opportunity, another role, another town. And in the long term, I realized that it's not really a good thing for us to just quit because our brain is trying to tell us that it's hard. Usually that first impulse is stopped. Like I realized that. I believe that we should be careful to not be involved in this emotional thinking because we are sometimes feeling that there is too much on the plate. There is a colleague in our workplace that is very challenging, and we kind of just get upset and screw it. I will move on. Sometimes we are in the right place, the right location, the right relationship, even the right job, and we should be really strategic, like what is my next bold move in this situation, how I can make this better. And I will walk you through the next hint that I believe that you should apply, and that is you should diagnose the oops. And that is really, if you feel in that situation that you got in a bad location, a bad place to work, like whoops, a bad relationship, whoops, a bad city or town, and you realize, oops, something went wrong here. I really believe that you should try to frame the commitment point, like what is the outcome that you tried to achieve with that transition. In my particular case, there was a situation in my career that I did a transition to a company that was really in the startup phase, like few employees, very small team, and of course a big ambition, like they were building a big product in this betting space. And I knew that there was a lot of challenge there, and I was really intentional on that transition. I will put a lot of demand on me because I know that I will skill up in this workplace. It's a new technology that they are developing. It's a greenfield project. I know that I will stretch myself. And there were several challenges there, and some of them I didn't anticipate. I was really clear about the outcome for that role, and for me it was every time that I was struggling, I would think why and what was the commitment point that led me to this position here. And with that, I was able to endure all that struggle, like sometimes people being mean to me. That really helped in my career, like because once I endured that challenge like for several months, I did skill up. I got better in my technical skills. I'm not telling that this is maybe the right situation for everybody. I know that every person has a different threshold, like of what they can tolerate. But it's really important to be logical and strategic, like in these life decisions. If you are trying to reach your next level, like if you are trying to increase your capacity, and that worked well for me. And also when we think about this oops framework, like if you were really clear about the outcome, why did you choose that? Other thing that you should think for is what is the outcomes expected for this, in my case, was a really massive upskilling in my technical expertise that I was expecting from that challenge that I was imposing to myself. It was by choice because I had other opportunities that I could jump in, government, big companies in the finance industry. And my decision was, I'm looking for this outcome in this role, and I did persist on that. And the third thing on this OOPS framework is, what is the process expected like that you have for that? My case was, okay, I will have a 9 to 5 that will stretch me. Sometimes I know that I will need to work a little bit harder to upskill, maybe times during the night or early in the morning, maybe do some additional work or studies to skill up. And that was something that I was aware of. But I wasn't aware of some struggles with some, on the cultural side, like with some people, like, because sometimes when you get in a company that is in a very initial stage, something that I realized working on, and I wish someone have told me that before, is really that you don't have like all those guardrails around the culture. So people there, they are kind of in that survival mode, and they are walking through others, and it's I felt, at least in that particular case, was a little bit challenging for me, and I would read the culture of the company on that sense. And that was because it was new product, new team, founders, they were in their first venture as well. So there was a lot of challenge on that. So that was part of the process that I didn't expect, but I kind of learned through this transition that, all right, next time that I jump into a transition, I will be aware that maybe part of the process, some of the things I can anticipate, others they will just happen, and I will need to adapt and be resilient through that. And also part of the OOPS, I would consider also the social connections, and that's related to the culture of the company if you are moving on, or even the town that you are living in. Because I realize that a lot of us, we desire that level of connection with people, maybe co-workers. We wish to meet nice people that we can exchange experiences, we can learn from them. Maybe it can be a new technology or even a hint about the city, like, oh, is there a good restaurant that you would recommend me? And it's something that we strive, it's part of the human nature. And I realized that for me, that piece was also a struggle. And I thought that maybe, and this was just later on because there were so much things going on, I realized that maybe I could shift that if I did approach the team that was not being so nice with me, and I could have a discussion like, and this I just learned it later, talk with more people, getting outside perspective, that I could increase that level of social connection. So that leads me to conclude that if we really feel in this situation that, oops, I don't like this, if I go through this thinking of what is the origin of the decision, why am I doing that, what is the commitment point, what are the outcomes hoped for, the process that I'm expecting, and the social connection, I can tweak those areas. If social connection is not good, like, let me talk with people. Let's see what we can do. If maybe the workload too overwhelming, can I change a little bit the process? Can we redistribute this workload? Can we negotiate some deadlines? And that really can help you to navigate through a situation that maybe is a good one for you, but you are struggling on that. The third advice that I have here, and it's something that few people, they talk as well, describe the pain and repairs. And that is really when you move into a new situation and you are kind of struggling, you are pushing through, it's really important to be mindful, like what are the pains that I have here, and what are the repairs that I can do. For instance, on my case, on that specific startup that I did join, I was struggling the social connections there, like how people, they were treating each other, and it was just actually one person. And I could be better at that, on being more mindful, right? Like all this pain is coming because of the low energy that this colleague is generating, or the way that he behaves towards other people, towards me. So let me try to talk and repair the situation, like on a sense of to build our relationship as a team, will be better us to work on this way or that way? What do you think about that? Or is there any reason that you feel that you can talk with people the way that you talk, the way that you express? Or maybe it's because you have too much on your shoulders that you are feeling overwhelmed and you are kind of lashing out on people. And that would be an attempt to stay more on that situation, which I did and I did endure, but would maybe something that could have made that experience better. And it's something that I'm really aware now to kind of really discuss and work through those situations. Secret number 4 that I have is describing and contrast the future alternatives. I was sharing this experience in this wagering and betting business. And for me, the future benefits would be the upskilling, the experience that I was gaining, a lot of learns, a lot of hard work. But for me, there was a clear milestone that I was achieving, like my upskilling, and also the projects like that I was getting under my belt and getting a product from scratch to launch in the marketplace. It's a huge thing, a huge milestone. So for me, it was clear, like I will endure this because I can have these future benefits. If I just give up right now, this will not be completed. Like even the company, people that brought me, they will feel that I didn't complete my mission. And that was part of my commitment as well with the people that did brought me into the business to help them with that product. Those are the main hints that I would consider nowadays when I'm trying to make a transition, or if I find a situation really hard, how I think through it. And I hope that this adds some value to your life, that you can think through. Describe in the comments what did you like. And as always, thank you very much for watching and stay tuned for new videos. Cheers.